see the new me. Whoa, I changed 'cause you're my
What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my labor and delivery story. Before we get into this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. For those who doesn't know me, my name is Kiana. So let's get into the video. So it all started on a Thursday night. I was cramping, I was cramping. It felt like period pains, but it was like, I guess it was contractions. It was contractions. So I was like cramping, but it wasn't bad. The pain was bearable. So then on a Friday, I was cramping more. Friday night, I was cramping more. Throughout the day, I was cramping. So I had went to the hospital. And when I went to the hospital, they had checked me and everything, and I was 1 centimeter. So they had sent me back home. So Saturday had came, and it was like the pain was terrible. Like the pain had got terrible. So I had went back to the hospital, and I was still at 1 centimeter. So at that point they sent me home with a Percocet, I think it was, and they was like, take this, and if you're not feeling better, then come back. And I wasn't feeling better. So at that point, it was nighttime. I had took the Percocet like she told me to, and Sunday had came. So Sunday, it was like I had ate some pineapples. I was walking. I had started crawling on the floor, and I had started, after I did all that, the contractions started like really coming. I was timing my contractions, but I don't know if I was doing it right. It was like 7 to 10 minutes, and then it finally went to like 3 to 5 minutes. So at that point, it was like I could not do anything. It was like I was like stuck. So I was on the chair. I had my legs on the chair, and my hands like on top of the like couch thing, and I was trying to sleep. And because I haven't had no sleep in like 3 days, because I had kept having contractions, so I wasn't able to go to sleep. So when I had tried to go to sleep, it was like I kept trying to go to sleep, but contractions would hit, and it would be so bad to the point where I would just cry. I would just cry so bad. So after then, it was like, after I was having like contraction, it felt like I was leaking. It had felt like I was leaking, and it was like, is my water trying to break or what? But I kept having contractions. But every time I had a contraction, it was like I would start leaking down there. So after then, I had put up with it for half a day on Sunday. It was, I had put up for half a day, and it had got so bad. And the Percocet, it was like, it worked, but it was like, at that point, it was not working. My contractions was 3 to 5 minutes apart, and at that point, it was not working. So I had went back to the hospital, and finally, when I went back to the hospital, I was 3 centimeters dilated. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus, because this was hurting so bad. Like, it was so bad. The contractions were so bad. I really did not, I didn't think I could make it. So at that point, they had admitted me, and they had gave me some medicine to calm me down, which the medicine, you could still feel the contractions with the IV medicine, but it's like you would sleep. I was so like doped up and sleep, like I just couldn't really, I can feel it, but I couldn't feel it. So after then, the lady had checked me, and she was like, oh, your water broke or whatever. So at that point, they had asked me, did I want the epidural, And I had said yes, because the medicine that they had through the IV, it was working, but it wasn't working. It was like I could still feel it. So at that point, they gave me the epidural. So when I had got the epidural, it was like they had numbed me first or something, because I didn't feel the real needle go in. But they had numbed me, and then they had put the needle in, and I just heard it like, I just really heard them like trying to find something in my spine. It's like they was trying to find something, I don't know. But after I got the epidural, I went totally numb. Like, I was numb. And after that, the nurse had told me my water broke, but when the doctor had came in, the doctor said my water wasn't all the way broke. So he had finished breaking it. And after that had happened, they had put like something in me to monitor like my contractions, to see like when my contractions is really coming and stuff, because on the monitor they had, it's like I'm so little that it picks up everything, so they couldn't really tell. So they had to put one inside me to see like when my contractions was really coming. So at that point, it was like a lot of pressure when they did it. They also put a catheter in me. I hated that catheter. It was so much pressure and just uncomfortable. So at that point, I had still waiting and see like what would happen. And my doctor had went home, because they was like, oh, you're not having the baby till tomorrow. So my daughter had went home. I had two daughters. One of the daughters was trying to like, thought I can push the baby out. So I was sitting there forever. And then when I got the epidural, it was like the epidural still wasn't working. Like, my epidural was not working. Sorry, y'all. I'm not love. But the epidural wasn't working. When I had got the epidural, it was like they give you this button, and it was like when it turned green, you can push it. I was ready to push the button before it even turned green. Let me tell you, I was ready. I was on it. She was like, push the button. That's what the button for. And I'm like, lady, the button is not green. Like, what do you want me to do? Because it's not green. I need some medicine. Like, I need something because I'm hurting. So at that point, it was like nothing they can do. And then I was thirsty. I wanted some water. I wanted something to drink. I was drained. I was exhausted. Like, I was so exhausted. So she had gave me some ice, because I don't think you can eat nothing. I don't think you can eat nothing when you get the epidural. So she had gave me some ice. So I was, eating the ice, and she was like, don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. And I'm like, lady, like, it can't hurt that bad. Like, it can't do nothing that bad. So I had to make sure I was just eating the ice. And then I had finally was like, can I get a popsicle? Like, can I get something? Because I had to stay overnight, and I haven't ate nothing, y'all. I was not able to, because when I was at home, my grandma had cooked, but I was not able to eat. Like, them contractions was hitting me, and I was not able to eat. Like, when you get a contraction, it's like you stuck. It's like you stuck right there. Like, you can't move at all. So she was like, yeah. So I come in there. So she come in there, and she was like, oh, you can have a half a popsicle. I was heated. Because first of all, the popsicle was on 1,000. It was good, for one. And for two, why do I have to have a half of one? Like, you might as well just gave me the other one. So my nurse was making me mad too. Like, she was making me mad. She really was. But after then, my daughter had went home, like I told y'all, because they said I won't have a baby till Monday. So my daughter had went home, and then they had checked me, and I had finally moved up to 4 centimeters. So the next day had came, and my doctor wasn't in. I had a whole new doctor the next day. So the doctor had came in and he was like, you was at 4 centimeters for 12 hours and you're not gonna be able to push this baby out. So looks to me the only option is you gonna have a C-section. When he said C-section, I started crying. I started crying right then. I was like, oh my God, y'all, I thought like, I really think like C-sections is worse than pushing, for real. Like, I started freaking crying. Like, he was like, we can do it in 40 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not ready. Like, I'm really not ready. I was like, I am not ready. Like, y'all should have saw me. I was like a whole fucking baby. Like, I was like a whole baby. Like, I was not ready to get her out yet. But it was like, I was ready, but I didn't want to do it that way. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to push her out, but I was not able to push her out. It was like I was exhausted. And then he was like, you're already exhausted. Like, you're not going to be able to push her out. Like, literally. I was not. And I kind of knew that I wasn't going to push her out because I was, like, so drained, y'all. Like, it was just so bad. Like, it was so bad. So after the fact he told me that I couldn't like push her out, I had to have a C-section. I was like, okay. So they had all different doctors coming in and like talking to me about like what they was gonna do and how they was gonna do it and stuff like that. So after then, he was like, do you have the epidural? And I told him I did. And he was like, well, we're gonna see if that works or whatever. Which I was numb when I went in there. And they was trying to give me like numbing medicine. So they had gave me like, I think it was like 4 things of numbing medicine. And he had started cutting. And oh baby, I could feel him cutting. And I was like, wait, hold on. I can feel you cutting, baby. Like, hold on. And he was like, oh. And then I had this man over here on the side like sticking me with something sharp. And he was like, can you feel it? And I'm like, yes, I can feel it. I can feel him down there cutting me. And they kept right on trying to numb me with medicine. I was like, can y'all just put me to sleep? So they put this mask over my face and they was like, breathe in. And I was like, oh shit, it's burning. Like, it felt like something was like, it was like burning through my nose. It kind of like burnt through my body. That's what I felt. And I was like, oh shit, it's burning. It's burning. And next thing you know, I was asleep. And then I was back up. It felt like I was back up in like 1 second for real. Because it was like, it felt like it was like that, but I knew it won't. But when I woke up, this lady was pushing on my stomach, y'all. Let me tell you, oh my God, it is the worst freaking pain ever. Like, she was literally like pushing on my stomach like she was doing CPR or something. Like, I knew the hospital heard me because I was screaming and yelling. Because she was like, hold on to the bed. So I'm holding on to the bed. And next thing I know, she just started whamming on my stomach. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this shit hurts so bad. Like, what are you doing, bruh? Because this shit is hurt. It's on the next top level. So she pushing on my stomach. I don't even know how long she pushed on my stomach. Because I was yelling. I was crying. But it hurt so freaking bad. Like, it was hurting to the max. Like, it hurt so bad. So, after the fact, they had gave me my baby. But I was so doped up, I didn't know they gave me my baby. Because it was like, y'all know them little nursing things? Like when you first go in a room, if you're a mom, then you probably know. But you first go in a room and they have like the baby thing set up. So I was looking for her to be in the baby thing. So I'm looking over there and I'm like, oh my God, my baby is not over there. Like, what's wrong with my baby? Like, where's my baby? So I'm asking them, I'm like, where's my baby? Where's my baby? What y'all doing with my baby? And they like, ma'am, your baby's in your hand, ma'am. Like, and I'm like, oh. And I just bust out, started crying again. I'm like, oh my God, I really had her. Like, y'all, I was crying for a hot minute. Like, I was so upset. They took my baby. They took my baby and like waited till I got in a room, I guess, because they had to calm me down first. I was crying about everything. Like, I don't even know what I was crying about. I was crying about everything. Okay. So, yeah. So, yeah. So then, after then, they had put me in a room and stuff. And my hospital stay, I really didn't like it. Like, it was alright, but like, I had started having like, you know, at the end I had started having like postpartum stuff or whatever. And it was like, I was crying. Like, I had kept crying and didn't know what I was crying for. Like, I was really just, it was just bad. Like, I just kept crying. And I was like, oh, Lord. So I was at the point at the end where it was like, it was overwhelming. And I was ready to go home. I was like, as long as my baby good, then I'm ready to go home. Like, y'all can send me home or whatever. So I had finally went home. And, yeah. It was like, I was ready to go home. Because that postpartum stuff, it had me, like, crying. And just, I couldn't get myself together. And then the medicine they had me on, I think that had a lot to do with it too. Like, the type of medicine they had me on. And oh yeah, y'all, let me tell y'all when I asked her to get the catheter out after I had the baby, they were trying to tell me, oh, you gotta wait till 11 o'clock. I was like, oh no, this is not about to stay in here till 11 o'clock. No, baby, it ain't about to stay in here. Because it was uncomfortable, y'all. I had company and stuff, and it was uncomfortable. She was like, well, do you feel like you can pee? I was like, yes, I'll do anything I have to do to pee. Like, it's time to get this catheter out. So finally, she was like, okay, I'm going to go ask. So finally, they got the catheter out. Oh, my God. It was a relief. Like, the pressure was terrible. And, when you first like urine, oh my God, it hurts. It like burns. It burned when I first like tried to urine or whatever. But yeah, but that is my labor and delivery story, you guys. I waited kind of a little bit. I waited like almost a month, because she's almost a month. She's about to be a month. She's like 3 weeks now. She'll be a month next week. But guys, I waited because if you're a new mom, then you know it's really like challenging. It's challenging. Like, it's like you got to sleep when they sleep, stuff like that. And you know, it's just, I'm getting used to everything. So I was just like not on, you know, not trying to overdo myself. So yeah, but this is my labor and delivery story. If you would like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know more videos to do. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
No, ho, you can't touch this, ayy. Bitch, I do rich shit, huh? My money thick, ayy. Walk with a limp, huh? I'm on some pimp shit.